There is a 1-gallon pump sprayer sitting on my front porch right now. Inside, it is $3 worth of simple ingredients you probably already have sitting under your kitchen sink. No toxic chemicals, no hazmat warning labels with skulls and crossbones, no $50 price tag from the big box farm store. In about 2 hours, if I walk down my gravel driveway at noon and spray a patch of dandelions, thistles, or crabgrass breaking through the gravel, those weeds will be dark brown, shriveled, and dead to the root. And my dog can walk across that exact same driveway 10 minutes later without a single risk to her paws or her health. It will not poison your soil. It will not leach into your drinking well water. It will not kill the earthworms or the beneficial microbes that keep your garden soil alive. It kills one thing and one thing only: unwanted weeds. My name is James. I have farmed and homesteaded 80 acres in the Mississippi River Delta of Arkansas for over 30 years. My grandfather broke this exact same ground back in 1931, and my father farmed it after him. And in 15 years on this property, I have not bought a single jug of commercial chemical weed killer. We have no commercial spray trucks driving down our dirt road. We have no respirator masks hanging in the barn, and our driveways, fence lines, and garden borders are cleaner and healthier than any suburban lawn in the county. In this video, I am going to walk you through the exact 3-ingredient recipe we use on our farm, step by step. I am going to explain the plant biology of why each ingredient works, why spraying at noon in direct sun makes it work 5 times faster, and the specific places on your property where you should never use it. Then I am going to show you 3 $0 traditional smothering and soil pH tricks that our grandfathers used to keep weed seeds from ever sprouting in the first place. And after that, I am going to tell you the part that the multi-billion-dollar chemical companies do not want you to think about. Why they sell you $50 jugs of synthetic chemicals that ruin your soil microbiology and leak into your groundwater, when a $3 pantry recipe works better, safer, and for less than $10 a year. Stay with me. By the time this video ends, you will know how to clear every unwanted weed off your driveways, gravel paths, patio pavers, and fence lines this weekend for less than the cost of a cup of coffee. And your land, your pets, and your family will thank you for it. Let us start with what most folks get completely wrong about weeds. Because if you do not understand how a weed drinks, breathes, and protects itself, none of the rest of this will make sense, and you will just end up wasting your time. A weed is not a monster from another planet. It is simply a pioneer plant. Nature despises bare ground. Whenever there is a crack in your asphalt, a bare patch in your gravel driveway, an exposed strip of dirt along a fence line, or a fresh bed in your garden, nature sends in deep-rooted pioneer plants: dandelions, crabgrass, broadleaf plantain, Canadian thistle, ragweed, and spurge to cover that bare soil and protect it from erosion. To survive in tough conditions, these pioneer plants evolved 2 incredible defense mechanisms. First, their leaves are coated with a thick, waxy outer layer called a cuticle. That waxy cuticle acts like a raincoat. When it rains, water beads up and slides right off the leaf. Second, they develop long, aggressive taproots or deep runner systems designed to store energy and pull moisture from several feet below the ground. When you go to the hardware store and buy a $50 jug of commercial herbicide, you are buying a synthetic chemical like glyphosate. It is designed to penetrate that leaf and circulate through the plant's vascular system down to the root. But to get past that waxy leaf cuticle, commercial chemical companies have to mix glyphosate with powerful chemical surfactants, binding agents, and industrial solvents. When you spray those chemical jugs on your property, Those synthetic surfactants and chemicals do not just vanish into thin air. Rain washes them off the leaves and carries them down into your topsoil. They stay in the dirt. They kill off the mycorrhizal fungi networks and beneficial earthworms that build natural soil fertility. Over time, your soil becomes sterile and compacted. And every year, more scientific studies come out linking those synthetic chemicals to long-term health risks for the families, pets, and livestock breathing those fumes or walking across those sprayed lawns. Our way does not try to outsmart nature with heavy industrial chemistry. It uses basic plant physics and natural cell biology against the weed. Here is what you need for the $3 Arkansas weed recipe. First, 1 gallon of plain white vinegar. You can buy standard 5% acetic acid white vinegar at any local grocery store for about $3 a gallon. If you are dealing with mature, thick, woody thistles or heavy brush, you can buy 20% or 30% agricultural cleaning vinegar at a farm supply store. But for 90% of backyard weeds, standard 5% white grocery store vinegar works perfectly. Second, 1 cup of salt, plain table salt, rock salt, or Epsom salt. Epsom salt is fantastic because it adds natural magnesium to the soil in trace amounts, but regular cheap table salt works just fine. Third, 1 tablespoon of liquid dish soap. Any brand, blue or clear, it does not matter. Now let us break down why these 3 specific ingredients work together so destructively against a weed. This is the science that turns 3 cheap items into a lethal natural herbicide. Ingredient number 1 is the vinegar. Vinegar is acetic acid. When acetic acid makes contact with the waxy cuticle of a weed leaf, it instantly strips away that protective wax coating. It burns through the leaf membrane and causes the individual plant cells to rupture and release their internal water reserves. Ingredient number 2 is the salt. Salt is a powerful natural desiccant. Once the vinegar strips away the protective wax and ruptures the cell walls, the salt initiates an intense osmotic reaction. It literally draws every drop of moisture out of the plant's tissue and root crown, dehydrating the weed from the inside out in a matter of hours. And ingredient number 3 is the liquid dish soap. This is the single most important component that most homemade recipes leave out, and it is the reason why so many people try homemade vinegar sprays and complain that they did not work. Remember that waxy outer cuticle on the weed leaf? Liquid water and pure vinegar have high surface tension. If you spray pure vinegar on a dandelion or crabgrass leaf, the liquid beads up into tight round droplets and rolls right off the leaf onto the dirt before it can do its job. The liquid dish soap acts as a surfactant. A surfactant breaks the surface tension of the liquid. When you mix dish soap into the vinegar, it forces the liquid to spread out flat into a thin, sticky film that coats every millimeter of the leaf surface like glue. It stops the vinegar from rolling off, holding the acid and salt directly against the plant tissue until the weed is completely destroyed. Here is how you mix it properly. Take your 1-gallon garden pump sprayer. First, pour in 1 cup of salt. Next, add 1 tablespoon of liquid dish soap. Then, pour the full gallon of white vinegar into the tank. Screw the lid on tight and shake the sprayer gently in a circular motion for about 30 to 40 seconds until the salt is completely dissolved at the bottom. Do not shake it violently up and down, or you will fill the tank with foam and suds. Now, here is the application secret that doubles the speed of how fast this works. Do not spray early in the morning when there is heavy dew on the grass. Dew adds moisture to the leaf surface and dilutes the acid mixture. Do not spray on an overcast, cool day, and never spray if rain is forecasted within 12 to 24 hours. You want to spray at noon on a hot, bright, sunny afternoon. Why noon? Because solar radiation and heat act as a force multiplier. When the sun is beating down at 85, 90, or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, the plant's pores are wide open and its internal temperature is high. The midday heat accelerates the evaporation process. When you hit a weed with vinegar, salt, and soap under full midday sun, the acid strips the wax, the salt draws the water, and the scorching sun bakes the exposed plant cells instantly. You can literally stand there and watch a vibrant green weed turn limp, dark brown, and completely withered in 90 minutes. Where should you use this $3 mixture? This formula is designed for total vegetation control in areas where you do not want anything growing. It is perfect for gravel driveways, brick patios, stone walkways, gravel parking pads, around wooden fence posts, along metal barn siding, and around foundation walls. It is the ultimate tool for keeping your property borders clean without pulling weeds by hand for hours. Now, here is an important warning. Where should you never spray this mixture? Do not spray this directly inside your active vegetable garden beds, and do not spray it across your main lawn where you want healthy grass to grow, unless you are spot spraying an individual weed very carefully with a targeted nozzle. Salt stays in the top layer of soil for a few weeks. If you soak an active vegetable garden bed with salt water, sensitive seeds like carrots, lettuce, or tomatoes will struggle to germinate in that spot until rain eventually flushes the salt down through the soil profile. If you ever accidentally overspray onto a prized flower bed or a patch of good lawn, do not panic. Take a garden hose immediately and flush the area with clean water for 2 minutes. Diluting the salt and acid right away will save the roots of your desirable plants. So, what do we use for weeds inside our active vegetable garden beds where we cannot spray salt? We use a second traditional old-timer method that costs $0, organic smothering. Instead of fighting weeds after they sprout in your garden beds, you stop the seeds from ever seeing light. We take plain, unprinted cardboard boxes from local stores or thick layers of black and white newspaper. We lay the cardboard flat directly over the soil between our garden rows, overlapping the edges by 4 inches so no sunlight can slip through. Then we soak the cardboard thoroughly with water and cover it with 2 to 3 inches of wood chips, clean straw, or shredded leaves. That simple cardboard barrier does 3 incredible things at once. First, it blocks 100% of sunlight, preventing dormant weed seeds in the soil from ever germinating. Second, it retains moisture in the soil so you water your garden half as often during dry summer spells. Third, by the end of the growing season, earthworms eat the wet cardboard, breaking it down into rich, black organic humus that feeds your soil for the following year. 0 chemicals, 0 cost, and 0 weeds. There is another traditional trick our grandfathers used for specific types of weeds that thrive in acidic soil, like horsetail, wild moss, and sheep sorrel. Acid-loving weeds only grow where the soil pH is low and sour. Instead of spraying them, my grandfather would take leftover wood ash from our wood-burning stove during the winter and sprinkle a light dusting of wood ash over those sour patches in early spring. Wood ash is rich in natural calcium carbonate and potassium. It raises the soil pH, making the environment sweet and alkaline. The acid-loving weeds naturally die back because the soil chemistry no longer supports them, while healthy pasture grasses thrive. Let us sit back and look at the financial math of this for a moment. The average homeowner in America spends between $80 and $200 every single summer on brand-name jugs of commercial weed killer, weed and feed lawn treatments, or monthly professional lawn spraying contracts. Over a 10-year period, that is anywhere from $800 to to $2,000 handed directly to chemical corporations for synthetic formulas that degrade your land and require continuous reapplication. 1 gallon of our Arkansas home recipe costs roughly $3.20 to make. A single gallon will treat an entire average gravel driveway, patio, and fence line 3 to 4 times over an entire summer season. That is less than $10 a year total. The reason you do not see advertisements for this simple recipe on television or on social media is obvious. There is no profit in selling you a gallon of grocery store vinegar and a spoonful of salt. No chemical conglomerate can patent vinegar. No corporation can trademark dish soap. Their entire business model relies on keeping homeowners dependent on expensive synthetic laboratory formulas. The old-timers who built this country understood that real self-reliance comes from knowing how nature works. By using acid, salt, sun, and cover, you can keep your farmstead clean, beautiful, safe for your children and animals, and completely free from corporate chemical dependence. So here is my challenge to you for this coming weekend. Walk down to your local store or open your kitchen pantry. Grab a gallon of white vinegar, a cup of salt, and a squirt of liquid dish soap. Mix them up in a simple pump sprayer. On the next bright sunny afternoon at noon, walk your driveway, your stone paths, or your fence lines and treat those unwanted weeds. Tell me in the comment section below where you live and what your weed situation looks like right now. I read every single comment on this channel, and I want to hear how fast this recipe worked on your property. And if you put out a sprayer this weekend, let me know how it went. If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button and share this with a neighbor who loves keeping their land clean. In our next video, I'm going to show you what my grandfather used to transform hard, compacted red clay soil into rich, black, fertile garden dirt, using 2 free ingredients that most people throw into the trash every single week. Until then, keep your soil clean, stay watchful, take care of your family, and remember that the old ways still work better than anything you can buy in a store.